This is Hoops Forum presented by A Quick Timeout and Radius Athletics. I'm Tony Miller, and I'm joined once again this week by my co-host Randy Sherman. Before we get to today's episode, a big thanks to our sponsors at 323 Sports. We're speaking here to a lot of basketball coaches, but I know a lot of you also coach other sports, your athletic directors, and your programs are always in need of uniforms, equipment, anything else that goes along with the sports that you work with. 323 Sports has all of that for you. They are more than willing to help you out and will do it right for your sports program. To find out more about what they can do for your athletics teams, visit 323sports.com, or you can get in contact with a sales rep, sales at 323sports.com. Again, they will do it right for your sports program. We're back with this week. This is a continuation from the last episode that we had talking about spread ball screens. For those that maybe didn't hear about it last time or haven't listened to it or just need a refresher, Randy, let's go ahead and kind of start them off and kind of quickly go through what we talked about. Today, we're going to focus in, though, primarily on adjustments out of the spread ball screen.
Yeah. So to review, we're just talking about just a high ball screen in the middle third of the court with the three players outside of that action, like you see on the screen. On one side of the court, there's two players holding the sideline, and on the other side of the ball screen, there's one. So we got a double side and a single side with a high ball screen somewhere nearish the middle third of the court, just like you see on the screen there. And there's another look. I think that one I'm trying to highlight the screening angle where the player sitting the screen near the top of the circle there is kind of like catching the back pocket of the on-ball defender to try to force him to go over and allow us to hopefully get some downhill penetration into that space you see circled and highlighted there. So that's what we're talking about. I think what we're going to hit on today is some advancements from there, but in this clip there, I'm sorry, this screenshot here, excuse me. We're another kind of, I guess, piece of vocabulary would be the three amigos. There's two players in the action, the two players sit in the high ball screen in the middle third of the court. Then there's three players out of the action, and those little nickname from the famous comedy, The Three Amigos. Those three players, what do they do, and where are they standing outside of the action?
I'd even say those three slides that we just showed, even though we quickly went over that, go back and listen to that episode if you haven't. Just teaching points, even dealing with this slide with the three amigos, what you do with those three players. It's more than just them standing, giving space. But, whether it's lifting up from behind, we'll show today, or some other things that you can do with them, that really kind of separates your spread ball screen from probably what a lot of people, if they don't know what it is, just coming up and setting a high ball screen. There's more to it that goes into that. So I'd encourage you to go back and listen to that episode. I don't know if you have anything else other than that, Randy.
Yeah, just as we sort of move up in understanding of ball screen play, the three players outside of the screen can enhance the action by where they stand, if they move or not, being able to react to which defender kind of helps out with tagging the roller or stopping penetration, things like that. So that would be kind of as we move up through understanding. But that we're going to look at some things today that are that will sort of touch on that.
All right, so let's get into those. We've got three actions for you to use out of your spread ball screens, and this first one here is the back action.
Yeah, you hear that I call it back action. I can kind of tell how old somebody is by what word they use for some action in basketball. This commonly gets called like single side bump or a shake. But people my age and older maybe call this back action. So let's define it. The basically what we're looking at is we got the three amigos spread outside the ball screen, like you see in frame one, with a double side to our left, a single side to our right. We've got the ball screen, and let's say it's sort of accomplished its aim, which is to get two on the ball or to create some sort of advantage where now a third defender, a player outside of the ball screen, who's not one of the two defenders in the action, is sort of now called upon to help prevent the offense from scoring. Here you see the player behind the action, that would be 2 in the corner with X2 defending them. A lot of coaches want that player to tag the roller, like to prevent the roller from rolling to the basket for a layup. So they've, in a sense, borrowed a player outside of the action to help neutralize or stop this 2-player action. So we can exploit that. And to me, this is like a definition of what a good concept is in basketball. I coach defense, you do, and all of us do, and this is exactly what I'm coaching you to do. Like, we need you to, the 2 guys in the action to hedge, switch, whatever, and you behind the action. I need you to tag the roller, then get back. The team is doing exactly what they're coached to do. We're not depending on a defensive mistake. We're exploiting their strategy to create an opportunity for ourselves. So 2 is in that corner, holding that corner, watching their man. Does he or she tag the roller? If they do, I'm going to shake up or lift up out of that corner behind the action. And for the ball handler, player 1 in frame 1, I always coach it like this. If you're the ball handler, you're the trigger man in the ball screen, watch the roller and that'll tell you what to do. Watch the roller. When they roll and they tag, that tells me to throw it back to the player lifting behind the action. Mm-hmm. So, hopefully that's a catch and shoot off that, and the play's over, the possession's over. They can also stampede that right into a drive, like kind of just cut out of that corner, catch that throwback pass and just take it right into a drive. But in the next couple of frames, like it's sort of like a common NBA or EuroLeague or something sequence that I see a lot would be if we throw to the back action there in frame 2, they don't catch and shoot. But 4, who's rolling, their man is on the inside, medial to the middle of them. Then the ball goes over their head. They leg whip them, and now we've got a post up, and we throw it right into the post for maybe a post move. And then the post feeder, player 2, get right into a post split action with player 1 or whomever is at the top of the circle area. So there you see like a post split, and the screener slips, the cutter, cuts to the wing, and maybe we can score off that action. So yeah, that's a common back action sequence. I think what you have queued up is maybe an example of Tyler Herro from his time at Kentucky, demonstrating this. So you see right here's the ball screen. On the top of the screen, highlighted, there's Herro. He's the player behind the action, the back behind it. So Tennessee tags the roller. He lifts out of the corner, and easy shot for him. Mm-hmm. So, Rick Barnes is coaching. You got to tag the roller. So, that's a way to exploit a team strategy. You're not depending on a mistake. You're doing something that the affordance of that decision by them is a shot for you if you read it right. So he shakes up out of the corner behind the ball handler, like he identifies the roller is being tagged, and he immediately goes to the throwback, and that's a layup for Herro.
I see at the college and the NBA level, like this is almost like an automatic, but coaching at a lower college level, this is something that I had to teach our players. Most ball handlers, when they come off the ball screen, all they see is what's in front of them. Mm-hmm. And even after teaching it, so many of them would still come off the ball screen and then throw it in front of them.
Yeah.
But I think for many of us who teach out of concepts and we're trying to find that open man to create those dominoes, then this just makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think while it makes sense to us as coaches, having taught this action, mm-hmm. make sure that your players understand what you're trying to accomplish. And I think if you already teach the concepts of finding the open man and then letting the dominoes fall, they'll get it, but it will take some drilling. And to your point, we have gotten not just shots off of it from behind, but then as the defense recovers and tries to get back to their original man, we get a ton of stuff off of the last slide that you showed, which was the last frame that you showed, which was throwing it into the post, and then that split action, getting a shot off of that, because again, you're screening and bringing 2 to the off the ball, which ends up kind of causing some confusion for defenders, and you end up with a wide open jump shot or a slip to the front of the rim for a score. So this is, again, I know it's a common action for modern day NBA and a lot of high college, and you see it a lot, but I think it hasn't yet trickled down to the high school levels the way that probably some of the other actions are.
Yeah,
so
we want to take ball screen offense from being sort of like a two-player thing, the screener and the ball handler, to making it a 3, 4, 5-player thing based on our vision and our understanding, going from narrow to wide. Like in a chess coach would tell someone, see the whole board, not just the next move, see the whole board. So when we come off that screen, I've got to be able to identify the roller, who tagged them, where should the ball go, who helped, where'd they come from, and all of those things helps sort of widen the scope of a simple thing like a high ball screen.
That's a good one. All right, let's talk about the next one here, the short roll.
Yeah, I included this one because a lot of times I get asked, or I see aggressive sort of ball screen defenses, especially sort of like at the college or high school level, where a team is really blitzing or trapping the ball screen, and what's the counter or the antidote to that? One thing that I've seen and observed is that if we can make that one pass out of that aggressive hard trap or double team, which is hard. I mean, it's you've got two players on the ball, you've got to do it quickly, and you don't want to get a deflection or you're giving up a pick six. But if we can make one pass out of that trap into the screener sort of rolling into that pocket of space, rather than long rolling all the way to the rim, they just sort of like come out of the screen and just sit down in that space behind that trap and short roll it. If we can get the ball to them, which I understand is a big if, then we're playing 4v3, right? So we've got an advantage. So basically, this is something to work on. If through your scouting or through your preparation, that we're going to face a team that is aggressive in their ball screen defense. They trap, they hard hedge. So the antidote to that is a pocket pass or a hook pass into that short roller, who's going to be kind of in that void right around the free throw line, key area, depending on where the ball screen is set. We can deliver them the pass and they can face up, they can attack or pass to where the help came from, and we can we're playing with an advantage then. And that's, as you see, as we go through these 4 frames, there's the trap in frame 2 of the ball screen, 5 sort of short rolls and sits down in the middle-ish area, like find that pocket of space. We somehow deliver them a pass, whether it's a hook pass, a pocket pass, a wraparound, somehow get them the ball. And then X4 sees that as a threat, helps toward the nail, and we pass to where the help came from, and we're playing 2v1, and we get a layup. So I think we've got some videos of Michigan from the NCAA tournament a couple years ago. They're playing a team. You see the really aggressive trap there from their opponent when he comes out and sets the ball screen. Bam! There's a hard trap. He delivers a pocket pass. Now it's 4v3, and he just sort of finds the open player, cutter, whatever. So the action accomplished its aim. We have an advantage. We just got to find it, and it's tough to do with 2 on the ball, but we've got to find it, and then that player becomes the trigger man to play from. So there's your 2 on the ball. You see him short rolling, and just almost looks like a high post in a zone offense of just sitting in that void, and then we pass to where the help comes from. This is the antidote, if you will. There's a hook pass to where the help come from, dunk, right? In a sense, it becomes zone offense. Anytime there's 2 players on the ball, it's zone defense. Like the other 3 players are zoned up, right? So now we're playing 4v3, pass to where the help comes from. Easy. So, well, simple.
Yeah. No, that's great. We played a team here at the end of the year. Had to play them at the end of the year, and then had to turn around, played them twice, and then had to turn around and play them in the first round of the regional tournament. And they were the only team that blitzed ball screens. But your frame number one there, I think a key teaching point: come off the ball screen, don't pick up your dribble.
Yeah.
Create that. You have it in the black there, but like one bounce back dribble to kind of create space from that double team. Maybe
Yeah, sort
even
of drag that trap
yeah,
out. Yeah.
maybe even a second one so that you can open up and kind of have vision. And by that time, you've even brought the defenders out another 2 steps.
Yeah.
And that's where you throw either that hook pass or, fake high and throw that pocket pass. And then now you have, like you said, that 5 in the middle that can either, at our level, they weren't very great at rotating. So we had a couple where the guy just caught it in the middle and turned around and scored.
Yeah.
But by then, a defender comes over and helps. Now you're kicking to a corner for a 3-point shot or on the dive like you just saw. So this is one of those I found that a lot of teams aren't sticking with the blitz anymore, but they'll use it a like special situation. If you haven't practiced this short roll and don't have it in your back pocket, you're going to get burnt on it. So it may not be the go-to for the other team, but I would definitely make sure you're practicing it, especially late in the year.
Yeah, you need a solution for the possible coverages you might see, and when this one appears and you don't have a solution for it, your ball handler feels really stranded out there, getting double teamed and hedged on, and we don't have a plan for them.
Yep, very good. All right, the final one here is an inverted dribble handoff.
Yeah, this is something I picked up recently that, I get asked sometimes, okay, I get it. I know what the double side is. I know what the single side is. And we're learning about this. So we drive, we get a little penetration, we kick, but maybe we don't shoot. Like what next, right? Like what next? Well, I would answer that by saying, okay, look at your shape or where your personnel when that moment where you're thinking, okay, what next? Like, what do we look like then? What do we have? And like here in this diagram, you see the spread ball screen. This time we're going into the double side. We kick to the low man in the corner. Hope if X4, who's not on the screen, but maybe they helped in, maybe that is a catch and shoot. But maybe that's a non-shooter for you. Somebody who you don't want just launching threes. And so what next? One of the things that I picked up on that I liked is to get right into this inverted DHO. I'm calling it inverted because, like in your traditional dribble handoff, the deliverer is above in relation to the baseline, the recipient. The recipient's maybe coming up out of the corner. I'm dribbling off the top of the key toward them. That's traditional. Inverted, the deliverer, player 4 here, is below player 3. So, that's an option that I kind of thought I would include today of like, if we get that drive and kick, we don't shoot it, maybe they make a great closeout or I'm a non-shooter. What's a possible thing I can do next without the ball stopping and us having to sort of like restart our offense? Let's get right to something that the positioning and personnel affords us. So I think you got a clip. This is Miami recently against the Lakers. I don't know how recent this is. It's from the season, but it'll take a minute to actually get to the spread ball screen. Here it comes. So you see PJ Tucker. He goes right into the inverted handoff with Herro. Again, Herro made 2 appearances today, but yeah. So there's the spread ball screen. A little bit of penetration, helping recover by the Lakers, and he knows it, right? He knows it even before the ball hits his hand. He's like, I don't have time and space to shoot this. You can tell PJ Tucker is like, if we were able to slow-mo this, he's already dribbling up to Herro with the ball still in the air. He knows that he's going to go right into it. And that still yields a pretty tough shot but that could easily be turn the corner, drive the baseline off that inverted handoff too.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, to your point, you could do a lot of things then after this as well. But and I would think that you typically have like a big switching onto a guard, which to your point, like most likely he won't come out, or if he does come out, then you have the opportunity to go around him.
Yep.
So yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I like that one a lot. All right, so thus ends our spread ball screen adjustments for this week. We may bring out there's several more that we could do as well that we may talk about here in the next weeks.
In our next session. Sorry to interrupt. Our next session, maybe talk about some false motion that could kind of wrap it up, like how to sort of like disguise it or move into it, that sort of like we're running spread ball screen, but we're hiding it behind a little bit of movement. So we can do that.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, let's plan on that then. So we're in the month of March. Lots of X's and O's coming from Randy and I and all the Fast Model team. So be sure to follow us on social media if you haven't already. And every Friday, Thursday, or Friday, depending on what week we are here this week with the NCAA tournament, we'll be doing a couple hoops forums to break down some of the X's and O's from the NCAA tournament, things that you'll see in some of the conference tournaments. One of the things that I would suggest also that you do if you haven't already is to sign up for Randy's email. Beyond the Scoreboard, presented by our sponsors over at Sideline Interactive. This segment is for us to make sure that you know all of the great things that could be delivered straight to your inbox. And this week, Randy, delivered straight to people's inbox was?
Honestly, it was kind of about what we just talked about. I sort of broke down some of these dribble handoff categories. The inverted dribble handoff that we saw from PJ Tucker to Tyler Herro being one of them. Kind of categorized the traditional, the inverted, and then sort of what I'm calling the enhanced dribble handoff. So yeah, check it out at radiusathletics.substack.com. Get signed up. Look for it on my link in my bio and Twitter and things like that. You can get signed up there for that newsletter, and it's as always brought to you by Sideline Interactive.
That's right. You can visit sidelineinteractive.com to find out all about their scoreboards and scores tables. We've already got one here, and I mean, it makes your whole gym look nicer. Yeah. Parents like it. It just gives a very professional feel. So be sure to check those out. I will say this. I've got one extra special offer. Those of you that listen to Hoops Forum, I have on CoachTube a ball screen small-sided game that would fit perfectly with a lot of the ball screen stuff that we're talking. If you're interested in that, I've got a 50% discount. You can use the code HoopsForum for that and take advantage of that and get all the small-sided games that you need to be able to practice your ball screen offense.
Yeah, that's a great compliment because I'm constantly getting asked, okay, what are some drills and how do you break it down? So head over there and do that.
Check it out. Got a lot of 3-on-3, 4-on-4 type stuff that you can use with your team. Appreciate all of you who joined us this week. If you missed any part of the live show, be sure to go back to the Radius Athletics YouTube page and you can watch the full version of these episodes. Or if you're into podcasts, you can download the full version at a quick timeout. There we have each of the episodes to fit for your audio needs. For Randy Sherman, I'm Tony Miller. We'll talk to you again next time on Hoops Forum.